Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm scrapbooking Disney trash cans. Now you guys know I love me some Disney trash cans. These are on Main Street, USA. So I've got the trash can and the recycle can, and today I am going to be playing with some Distress Oxides. Haven't played with them in a little while, so I figured it was time to pull them out. I'm going to be using Faded Jeans, Prize Ribbon, Wilted Violet, and Villainous Potion, which is basically Disney purple. All right, guys, let's see what I can do. All right, so I cut down my white cardstock, and I have blenders for each one of these Distress Oxides. Now, I want a good, thick, heavy coat of ink on top of this paper because I am going to do something to the top of it that will pull up the color, and I just want to make sure that there is no white showing through. Now I am going to trim this down, so I'm not too concerned if I don't go all the way to the edge of the white paper, which is also why it is not a big deal that my washi tape is holding down the white paper on my magic mat. So this is a magic mat. It is basically a mixed media mat from Brutus Monroe, and I obviously use it when I'm using mixed media. Now, as you can see, there's glitter glaze and all that kind of good stuff on the mat. It doesn't hurt it, it just makes it look like it's used. So I am going to just keep doing these 4 colors in order. And then I do blend them a little bit. This is still a very stripy blend, but it is not blended in like where you would have it going from light to medium to dark. It's not that kind of blend. This is totally a stripy blend, and I'm okay with that because, like I said, I'm going to be doing something to the top of the ink. Now, if this was just my base for my project, if this was going to be the big decorative element, I would have spent a lot more time and a lot less stripy going on with the ink blending. It would have been a much smoother transition from color to color. But it's all in what you are going to be doing with your project. So I do have foam for each one of the colors. I do not have a tool for each one of the colors. There is a ridiculous amount of Distress Oxides available, and I just don't find it a necessity to have tools for each one. I just use a little paper towel off to the side to help pull off the little ink nubs, and then I just go on with myself. So again, I don't know why I'm spending this little bit of extra time blending because, like I said, this is a very stripy project. So yeah, there are the stripes. I'm going to just cover up the ink, grab myself a stencil. Now I am using Fallen Snow glitter glaze, and that is basically like a white / clear glitter glaze from Brutus Monroe. I am taking a palette knife and spreading it out. Now you might notice, if you notice these kind of things, this is not my glitter glaze palette knife. My glitter glaze palette knife has run off. I have no idea where it is. I actually have 2 of them. One is a longer one and one is a shorter one, and neither one of them are in the little palette knife container where I house all my palette knives. I really have no idea what the heck happened to it. So I had to do another one. Now that is what happens when the glitter glaze is dry. I went ahead and trimmed it down so that you didn't see any of the white portions. And I'm just going to go ahead and mat that on some black cardstock. Now, not all of the glitter glaze was completely dry. You could kind of see it there on the mat, and it came off on my hands a little bit, but that's okay. I am going to lay this down on a sheet of white cardstock, and then I've got to figure out what I'm going to do with the Disney trash cans. Now, I spent a good amount of time inking and glitter glazing and heat drying the glitter glaze. I did heat dry it this time. I did not let it dry on its own. So I don't want to cover up a whole heck of a lot of that gorgeousness, right? Like, I spent the time on it. I want you to see it. So I decide that I'm going to mat my Disney trash cans in a thin black border. And that way that's going to match the black border around the glitter glaze as well. I'm going to overlap the trash cans, and then they're going to overlap on top of the glitter glaze as well. But like I said, I am leaving a good amount of the glitter glaze showing. Now I also am going to do Nuvo Deluxe adhesive on the back of my photos. That is because I am adhering it down to glitter glaze, and glitter glaze has texture to it when it's dry, you guys. So you're going to want a nice liquid glue to get down into those nooks and crannies so that your projects stay glued together and they don't fall off like thickers. I am really spicy about the thickers lately. They just fall off of everything and it drives me absolutely insane. So yeah, there we have that. Now I went ahead and grabbed this black and white diagonal washi tape. I'm going to place this washi tape over top of the photo and the background cardstock. So I went ahead and placed it on some white cardstock again, and that way it's going to give it a little bit more heft. So you're not going to see the washi tape kind of go over the like it's not going to dip down. I do have a good amount of labels that I want to use to create some sort of something over here. I'm really trying not to compete too much with all of that gorgeous inky glitteriness that I have going on at the top. Like that is like the eye grabber, like that's what you're going to look at, right? So I don't want to have too much down here. But I am going to use some glitter stickers to write my title. So it's going to say Main Street Can. And my original thought was to do it all in this blue color, but I thought that that would just be a little bit too much. So after I get a Main Street down, I figure I need to figure out how to get the word can down there that is not this dark blue glitter sticker. So I have these purpley pink ones. Sometimes, guys, these glitter thickers are pink. Sometimes they're purple. Just depends upon what colors you work them with and like which way the glitter is shining. But they're feeling purple to me today. So I'm going to take that D and trim it down to spell, to make an A, and then I have a U that I flip upside down to make the N. So now it says Main Street Can, and I am digging my little glitter title I have down here. But now I feel like that little extra bit on the A is a little bit too much extra. Like it's like, whoa, sticking out a little bit fur, sticking out a little bit far there. Now I decide that since I have this black and white kind of graphic-y looking stripe thing going on, I need to add it to some more places on my layout. So I use my grid mat to go ahead and get some over here on the top of my layout, and then I'm going to add it down here as well so that it kind of looks balanced. So I go ahead and use my grid mat again, wrap that washi tape over, and now I've got to figure out what is going here next to the title, because something needs to go there. It feels very naked and very empty right now. So I'm going through and I'm looking through this little embellishment case that I have, and I'm like, oh, these stars would be great. So, you know, I'm not really figuring out what is going there next to the title. I'm kind of embellishing more elsewhere, and I'm like, do I really want to have these washi tape spots embellished, or do I just want to leave them as plain washi tape spots? Ultimately, I decide that the stars there are not what I'm looking for. I actually would have loved that camera had it not have that neon green line around it. I really didn't want to introduce another color. It just felt like I was forcing it here. Since I have all these blues and purples up here, I want it to kind of stick with the blues and purples and didn't want to introduce anything else. So now I'm also going through some brads. I'm trying to figure out what in the heck I am going to put on this title area. And I bring out a flare that's in blues, and I'm like the shape is right, the scale's kind of right, but the color just not exactly right. So I give up on that and put that off to the side. And then I decide, you know what? I'm just going to use the stars. I'm going to use my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. Now these are acrylic stars. So you can see the glue right now while the glue is wet, but this glue will dry clear and matte, so you're not going to be able to see it through. So I go ahead, get the stars down on the page, and then I'm just going to write Main Street, USA, Walt Disney World, over here where the washi tape is. And then that is going to do it for this layout, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.